Most people only learn about compounding when it's too late. If I started saving just $10 a day in high school, I'd have over $200,000 right now just from sticking to that alone. At 40, I'd have almost $500,000. At 50, I'd have over $1 million just from skipping my morning Starbucks or saving my weekly allowance in high school. Feels like a punch in the gut to think about what I've missed. Compounding is the only guaranteed way to turn a small amount of money to millions of dollars. Even Albert Einstein says that compounding interest is the eighth wonder of the world. But just like the pyramids of Giza, it's hard to appreciate them until you experience it for yourself. So grab a drink, take a seat, let's talk about it. What's up, y'all? It's Brian. In this video, I'm going to show why compounding is a powerful tool, even if you're starting with small amounts of money, why it's worth the wait, and how you can start building wealth no matter what your age is or your experience level. In fact, I learned a lesson the hard way just this year about compounding in my backyard with nut sedge. I don't know if you're familiar with this, but it's a weed about 6 inches under the ground. It forms a little ball, a little nut, and then that nut spreads underground, creates another nut, and those nuts create nuts, and then they shoot weeds up from there. So to pick it, you have to dig all the way down and get the nut. Over the summer, it's hot. I'm tired of picking weeds. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to put this off until it cools down a bit. So I get online. I'm like, how much is this stuff going to spread? One nut sedge can make another nut in a month. So I'm thinking, okay, I'll wait a few months. I'll have 3 times the nut sedge, 4 times the nut sedge. No big deal, right? Well, it did not account for compounding. In month 1, one nut sedge makes another nut. But in month 2, it's not just going to be 3 nuts. No, now both of these guys are going to be reproducing nut sedges. So after month 2, I've got 4. After month 3, I've got 8. And then 16, I don't have 3 or 4 times the nut sedge now. I've got 16x the nut sedge. This is the dark side of compounding. If I leave one nut sedge alone for a year, that's 12 months of doubling, it'll be 2,000 nut sedge. Now it's incredibly hard to deal with. This is just like credit card debt, for instance. If I don't nip it in the bud and pay it off before it becomes a problem, it can balloon and crush me incredibly fast with the power of compounding. I want the good version of compounding, the light side. For me, I'm planting Asian jasmine in my backyard. This is the investing. So I want the Asian jasmine to grow over time and choke out the nut sedge. And of course, I'll be paying off my debt. I'll be picking the nut sedge every chance I get. And hopefully, eventually, I'll have a good result. All the nut sedge needed to overwhelm me was one seed or one nut, the power of compounding, and one other crucial ingredient for it to reach a critical mass. Critical mass is the key element that all investing and all debt has with the power of compounding. So when you're investing, this is your target that you're trying to hit. So for me, with the nut sedge, let's say I can pick 256 nut sedge in 1 month. That's reasonable for me. Once the compounding of nut sedge is producing 1,000 nut sedge a month or 2,000 nut sedge a month, it's out of my control. I've hit a point of no return. I've hit the critical mass of nut sedge. This is not a point that anybody wants to be. For my investments, the first milestone that I'm looking to hit to reach critical mass is when interest is creating more value in my portfolio than I am able to add with my salary. Let's say I can afford to put $1,000 a month into my portfolio. From compounding interest, whenever it is generating more than $1,000, this is when increasing my wealth becomes so easy. And this point is different for everybody. It might happen for you at $100,000. It might happen for you at $50,000. It's the point where increasing your wealth happens faster and faster and faster. And then critical mass is reached whenever your interest is creating more value than you're able to spend. Let's say my account's creating $50,000 in a year and I'm only spending $40,000. At that point, there's no looking back. I have reached financial independence once I hit critical mass. And the ingredient that's needed for any amount of money, as long as it has the power of compounding, is time. You just need to give your investments enough time to hit the first milestone of compounding interest, and then the critical mass will come faster than you think. So what if you didn't start investing when you were in high school? Like me, I did not. Am I out of time? Is there enough time to take advantage of compounding? Let me introduce the next variable in the compounding equation. There's 2 types of investors. You got Mike and you got Jake. Mike's a little bit older. He did not start investing when he was as young like Jake did. Jake started investing in high school. His parents forced him to put his allowance money into the stock market. So Jake got a great head start. But then when he got to college, it's not a priority for him anymore. He's on his own. He wants to party or go out to eat. He's got other priorities. He doesn't invest. When he gets out of college, yeah, he starts investing. Maybe this year he will, this year he won't. Some years he wants to buy a nicer car. Sometimes he wants a nicer apartment. He lets his lifestyle inflate and he does not increase his investing. He's not consistent. Whereas Mike, on the other hand, now he's 30. He's starting much older, but he wants to correct the mistakes from his younger years. So he starts investing $1,000 a month, every month without fail. And when he gets a raise, he actually increases the amount that he invests. If he starts at the age of 30 and invests $1,000 a month and increases it by inflation every year as he gets raises, then he'll reach $1 million by the time he hits 50 years old. Whereas Jake, on the other hand, he's off and on. He doesn't increase his investments. He's not consistent. He won't reach $1 million by the time he's 50. Time is incredibly important. It gives you an incredible head start if you can start investing early, but without consistency, you will not reach financial independence as fast as possible. Money in and of itself is not the goal, but it is a means to an end. Money allows you to reach financial independence, which gives you the freedom to do what you want, when you want, and where you want to do it. But putting too much emphasis on keeping and making as much money as humanly possible can be just as bad as not saving anything at all. If financial independence is important to you, check out this video right here. Catch you on the flip side.